So it's the billiards doctor here, and I'm going to teach you guys about draw shots. For me, doing draw shots is probably one of my strengths, and I like to use draw a lot. It's really fun. The keys to doing a good draw shot are you want the cue, like the plane of the cue, to be as parallel to the table as possible. So you want, if I'm doing a draw shot on this 15 here, I want my cue to be as level to the table as possible, as flat as possible. That's the first thing. So what you don't want to do, you don't want to do this, is you do not want to have your cue going downward at it, like this. Like this is, you see some people try to do this to get draw shots. That's not ideal. If you have to bridge over a ball, then doing that's okay, right? If you need to bridge over this ball in order to get to it, you need to draw back, then it's okay to do it like that, but it's not ideal. And it's better to, if you want to get as maximum power as possible in your draw shot, you want to keep the cue, like I said, as level to the table as possible, like that. So that's the first big thing with draw shots, is cue as level to the table as possible. And it takes a while to get used to it. You may miscue a few times when you're practicing if you haven't done a lot of them. But one other important thing is you should really use a lot of chalk. So make sure you got chalk. I tend to chalk, obviously the whole thing. Make sure you get the edges of the cue. That's really important. If you don't have chalk, you'll more likely miscue. Other things that you want to keep in mind when doing a draw shot are you want to follow through really well. So what I mean by that is you want to go through the ball and you want to follow through. So you want to go all the way through it like that. If you don't follow through well, then you have less contact time with the cue ball and it won't go as far. So some people will do like that type of a thing and they'll kind of stab at it. You don't want to do that. You want to have a nice, smooth, long follow through. And the other key is when you get better at this, you want to accelerate through the cue ball. So what you want to do is accelerate through the cue ball such that you are gaining speed as you go through. So that allows you basically to have maximum contact time on the cue ball. And as you have more contact time on the cue ball, the more spin that you can put on it. So ideally you want to start a little bit slower, and then as you go through you want to speed up and go faster and faster through, and that'll give you a lot of draw. So that was kind of bad form, because one other thing you want to do is you want to keep your cue down the whole time. So you want to aim at your target and you want to keep your cue tip downward and you want to keep it downward. So you should really, going like this, when you hit it, you should go down and stay down. And for me, what I like to do is I usually like to, after I make contact, I'll count to 2 or count to 3, and then I'll lift my cue up, because that allows me to stay more stable and more still during the shot. And for your draw shot, you want to be low on the cue ball anyways. So I actually tend to do that, count to 2 or 3 for every single shot I do, regardless of if it's a draw shot. But for draw shots, you definitely want to have that stability and stay low to it. Trying to think if there's anything else that you should know for draw shots. Obviously, the further down you hit on the cue ball, the more backspin you're going to get. And you got to be careful. If you hit too low, you'll miss cue and the cue ball will jump, and you don't want that. But at the same time, you want to have as much power as possible, as much as you need in order to allow for a bigger draw shot. One other thing that's really important is the length of your bridge. So obviously you can accelerate faster and get more speed if you have a longer bridge. This will allow you to have a longer draw shot. So if I have a long bridge, like I'm back here, well, first of all, whatever you do for your bridge shot, you should use the whole bridge. So you should come all the way back. So all the way back, and that gave me a lot of draw. So you came all the way back here, a lot of draw. Now if I have a shorter bridge, let's say I want to set up for like the 2 ball on the side right here, I just want a little bit of draw. A lot of amateurs will make the mistake of keeping a long bridge during this draw shot. You don't want to do that. What they'll do is they'll have a long bridge. I mean, if you have to reach, then that's different, but they'll purposely have a long bridge, and they will come through and they'll like slowly go forward and slowly hit it. You don't want to do that. Many professionals have stated and have said that it's much easier to have a shorter bridge, a little bit of draw. That's all you need, just like that. So if you need less draw, shorter bridge, more draw, bigger bridge, obviously the amount of follow through and how low you hand the cue ball is also going to be a determiner. But draw shots are really fun. Like when I first learned spins, I love doing draw shots. A lot of my friends do draw too much. It's a really fun shot to practice, and it looks really cool too. And then one other thing, this is for more advanced players. I wouldn't recommend doing this right away at all. Like take a long time. Like it took me like maybe a year and a half of practicing to get to this level where I was able to do this pretty well. But if you want to do draw shots with backspin, well obviously backspin, well with side spin. So let's say like I have a ball here and here, and I want to get, in fact, why don't we do it in this way? More obvious. I want to bring the cue ball down this end so I can make this ball. So this is a pretty straight shot here, and if you use regular draw, cue ball's just going to hit here and go straight. So if I use regular draw, it just went straight, and that's fine. But let's say I want to get further down the end of the table. What you can do is you can use the opposite side spin that you would use on a top spin. So what I mean by that is, if I want to go to the right with my draw, meaning it'll hit the rail and shoot to the right, I want to hit lower left on the cue ball. Okay, so this is pretty cool. This is very advanced. This shot won't come up too often, but it's good to have in your arsenal. So if I want to hit to the right, I hit lower left, and then it should. Yeah, see how it went to the right? The angle in should have gone straight, but it went more to the right. Obviously, the more spin you do, the more like left spin you do on that shot, more it's going to go to the right. And if you have to do that for the opposite, if you do lower right, will bring you left. Last thing with backspin that I really like doing, and I don't know if you can see this on the camera very well, but I'll try to, if you can see the 2 ball there. But a very fun shot to do is if you want to get, this is for more advanced players, but if you want to get from this end of the table to the opposite end, on this 2 ball, like a lot of players will struggle with this. They'll hit this with topspin, and the topspin will kind of kill it off the wall, and it'll sort of die out in the middle. Let's say you want to get all the way down though. What you can do is you can use lower right in this case. That'll have it make the 2, hit here, and it'll shoot off this wall and go all the way down. So it's really cool. So regular backspin would be much flatter, but if you do lower right on this, cue ball is going to fly around. Oh, missed the shot, but obviously you have to compensate for square and stuff like that. But the point is that the more you do the lower right, the more the cue ball flies around. This is a really fun shot to do. When I have a shot to get to the other end of the table, I love this shot. There we go. Anyway, so that's my talk on backspin and draw shots. Thanks for watching. Be sure to stay tuned for lots of other videos from the Billiards Doctor.